Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Secret History, living inside your aquarium. All right, so what do we got going on here? Well, here is the scope of all the stuff for the new stand. So I got this new stand, and here, let's take a look at it. So, new stand, empty space, little cut cabinet, empty space, 36-inch by 20-inch top, even though it says by 18-inch. Odd that the dimensions are incorrect on the outside of the package, but I mean, what are you gonna do? So this is what it kind of says it's gonna look like. My wife picked this out. I actually wanted to do just a sheer metal frame. Let's move this for a sec. I wanted to just do a sheer metal frame like this table here, just like an old school table with a flat top, and then actually mount a piece of 2.5 to 3 inch thick actual wood cross section like these here as the top, and then just make sure it's planed nice and level, but with the wood grain and then a live edge of how the board was milled originally. That being said, my dad is sick currently, and he's the one with the equipment where I could do that in the space if I went and drove an hour north to go visit him. So in the meantime, I'm just going to put this little stand together, and then we got to figure out where we're taking this little tank, which is 17.5 gallons. It still feels so much bigger to me. I don't know why. The new tank is going to literally match exactly where this red table is currently. That's the footprint, and then it'll be exactly as high as where the light is mounted right now. So to give you an idea, yeah. So it shouldn't take up more of this area. It'll go a little bit higher on my wife's, I like Mucha, however you want to say it, his artwork and his poster. But it'll go a little bit higher on that. Now, I want to move this tank over into the dark place somewhere, probably not there, but probably where that plant is in front of the mirror. If you've been with the channel for 2 years, you remember when I had tanks over there. I had tanks there. I had one up on the bookshelf. I had one up there before I had the little fish room. I also have an offer for a 22-gallon tank with twin star light that's long. It's 36 inches long, so it's the extra long 36 inches long, 22 gallons, kind of narrow, super long. I love those tanks. I really would want one. I don't have any place to put it, honestly, but what I am going to do is pick it up, get the light from it, which is a Twin Star EA, which is similar, I mean, the same model as this, except this is a 24-inch. And hopefully, I'm hoping, this is only 14 inches front to back, but 18, if you think about it, is, another, from 14, you got another 2 and another 2. So another 4 inches to cover in light spread. And I think if the light's a little higher, I think it's doable. I think it'll do it instead of having two Fluval 3.0s. Which is what I would like for more control, but it's just more money. So unless someone knows someone at Fluval or a company that wants to help out, I think we're going to go with that for now, because I can get that whole setup basically for $200, and that's the light and the tank. So, and really I would just pay that for the light alone, as long as it works and it's, everything's good. So we'll have to double check that. But I got the stand, and I knew that some assembly required would be the norm. But what I didn't quite realize, and I should have just known because everything is nowadays, is that it's all this particle board, this press board stuff. And while that's not always the end of the world, I mean, some of this furniture we've had, like this little record table thing, a lot of IKEA stuff we've had, even this little stereo speaker stand, all that kind of stuff. Not this, that's actually well made, or this lamp I put together. All that stuff, it does okay until it doesn't. So the thing is, with this press board, particle board, whatever you want to call it, chipboard, you can see there's a layer of pressed fine sawdust, and then there's a layer of like thicker or coarser, I should say, sawdust, and then there is a veneer that it's all dusty and everything. But luckily, the parts, most of them still have numbers on them, and then some sort of instruction manual here. There's only 2 fixtures really. But what I am already realizing and reading from people is that, like I was saying, with this veneer being so thin and this shiny kind of vinyl stuff, and this being so, it's just sawdust, so then it's heat treated onto there. And these corners can bust out, these chip away. I mean, having like little dove cuts and little like inner cuts into particle board, unless there is a ton of resin or glue in that chipboard, it doesn't hold as well as it should. A lot of times it's not going to be a big enough hole, because obviously if you cut it too big, then you're really in trouble. But a lot of times if you cut it too small, you can just make the hole larger later. But because of all of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get an acrylic paint, and that is to say almost like a lacquer. I wish I had the can handy, but Valspar makes a good one, and I actually use it for my artwork. So when I have canvas artwork, going on like this, I'll do a clear coat of it, so that when I'm stacking artwork, especially on black or white, nothing will scuff it up, and it'll just give it a little bit of more rigidity to it, and waterproofs it as well. Now, that being said, when you put it on an edge like this, it can suck up a whole lot if this is really low humidity and not already sealed off with wax, which it is not sealed with wax or any sort of epoxy. It feels like they just made a batch of like wood chips and Elmer's glue and then pushed it together with hydraulics. So I can't complain too much, because it was supposed to be $179, which is kind of like a loss leader, or I mean, kind of a joke of a price on this thing. It goes for $139, $150, $149 normally. What happened is I went in, I said that I had a coupon online. I found a Groupon, or I Googled basically Petco, or PetSmart, that's what it was. And then I also went to Chewy.com, because it is owned by the same people. And I said, hey guys, I found a discount. This is $30 off any $100 purchase or more. And so I was able to take that in. Plus they had a sale going where this thing was $130 or $129 online. If you picked it up in store and signed up, I was already signed up, so they just honored that. They will match and honor you, which is one really cool thing about hardware at Petco, PetSmart. Usually both of them will honor you for their prices online and so forth, or even their competitors' prices, depending on the store, depending on if they know you and so forth. But here, they matched it. I was able to get the whole thing for $99, and so putting it together, even if it doesn't last forever, it's just kind of a placeholder in the house for the moment. So I got to get to work doing that. It has a whole heck of a lot of hardware fixtures on it. I'm kind of surprised. I don't know, I'm looking right now to see what kind of, we've got the little lock, let's see, these little lock-in pieces that you just twist in, and then they trap in. They're kind of like a tongue and groove type thing. But I don't see any long slides for the drawer, or for the door openings. I don't see any little like hydraulic little corner thing, or they're just a simple hinge is what I'm seeing here. Right here is just a super straightforward hinge. So probably doesn't close any smoother than just a cheap old hinge. And there's just a lot of screws and stuff. Nothing's finished, like I said. So I'll need to get my my power screwdriver, or I will have a very sore wrist if I don't do that. And So I'll get to work on that, and then I'll keep you guys posted. And then I need to move this and confirm with the wifey where the hecky it's going. But in the meantime, before I seal all of this stuff up and get it gummed up, I'm actually going to put the bolts and things in to see what's showing, and then I will do a nice coat of the acrylic, and I can link in the description to that product, which I've used on this particle board, press board, you name it, even plywood, I've used it. It's just a nice thing to have. It's cheap, get at Home Depot or Lowe's or Amazon. And yeah, so that's that. Looks like the new tank will be getting another light just like this. So the new tank should look pretty much exactly like this tank, only instead of 17, it's going to be 46.4 gallons, and we'll have a canister filter instead of this, and we'll have the CO2 running. And instead of being a wild scape like this, I want to do for the first time in my house, in this house I should say, since my wife and I have gotten married in the last 6 years, I haven't done it, do sand, and then do EcoComplete and Amazonia by ADA, their aqua soil, mix those two together and put that in the center, put some caves coming in and out, but build kind of a little bit of a mound, and then have some rocks coming together to make an arch that is not quite completed, but just kind of a natural, like arches in Utah, like natural falling arch or fallen archway. And I'll probably be using this stone here. I just like the way the colors change. Some of it has green, and then it's got the white quartz through it. It's a jadeite from the Cascades in outside Seattle. I actually went and chipped it away myself. It starts off in this nice kind of grayish blue color, and it's got green spots. It's got jadeite and jade in it. Most of it's not the transparent jade you're used to. It's the more jadeite, which is just kind of like a very fine-grained crystal type rock. And then with this tank, we'll have to drain it down, and that's going to be rough on the plants and everything, which are all kind of tangled because they're getting long. But then I'll be stealing almost every blade of the Limnophilia bellum, as well as some of the other plants, and putting it in the new tank. So I'm glad that this has had no CO2 and very minimal ferts on it now for like 6 months, because this is how it will exist. And so now it's a nice low tech, medium light to highlight in the center tank. And so we can get on with creating something really cool, I hope. All right, guys, stay tuned. Please like, subscribe, ring that bell. You can ring my bell. If you like watching my fish going to school and shoal, schooling all over, help them go to college, you can check out my Patreon. You can check out artwork I sell on clothing and other apparel and things like that in the links below, as always. And you can always catch me on a live stream and just, make it rain in nickels or something online. All right, guys, take care of your critters. Take care of the people around you, and it will all come full circle. We'll all take care of each other, and it'll be good in the end. All right, guys, enjoy, relax. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.